Hello and welcome to the Wonder Box. Prepare to have your mind blown. Today we journey back in time, back to an era of powdered wigs and horse-drawn carriages, but beneath the veneer of the 18th century, a natural catastrophe was brewing. A catastrophe that would ripple across continents and leave an indelible mark on history. We're diving into the story of the Laki eruption. It's a tale of fire and ice, of global consequences and the sheer terrifying power of our planet. Imagine Iceland in June 1783. Picture a land of stark beauty, of glaciers and volcanoes, of hardy people eking out a living. Then on June 8th, the earth began to tear itself apart, not with a single explosive bang, but with a slow, agonizing rip. A fissure, a long crack in the land known as Laki, opened up in the south of Iceland. And from this chasm, hell itself seemed to pour forth. Instead of a typical cone-shaped volcano exploding violently upward, Laki was different. It was a fissure eruption. Imagine a line of volcanoes erupting simultaneously. That's essentially what Laki was. Over a staggering 27 kilometers, vents and fissures smoked and roared. They spewed fountains of molten rock high into the sky. These weren't gentle trickles of lava. We're talking colossal volumes. An estimated 14 cubic kilometers of basalt lava flowed from Laki. Think about that. Cubic kilometers. That's like a massive, slow-moving river of fire. This lava cascaded across the Icelandic landscape. It buried farmlands, engulfed villages, and reshaped the very contours of the land. The lava flows themselves were devastating enough for Iceland, but the real terror of Laki lay in what you couldn't see. It was in the invisible killer that rose into the atmosphere. Sulfur dioxide, vast amounts of it. Laki wasn't just erupting lava. It was unleashing a toxic cloud of volcanic gases. Sulfur dioxide, when released into the atmosphere, reacts with water vapor. It forms sulfuric acid aerosols. These aerosols are tiny particles that can reflect sunlight back into space. And that's exactly what happened on a global scale after the Laki eruption. The eruption raged for 8 long months. From June 1783 to February 1784, imagine living under the shadow of constant volcanic activity for that long. The sky above Iceland was choked with ash and gas. The sun was obscured. Daylight became a dim, eerie twilight. The immediate impact on Iceland was catastrophic. The lush summer pastures were blanketed in volcanic ash and toxic fumes. Livestock, crucial for Icelandic survival, began to sicken and die. The sulfur dioxide poisoned the grazing lands. It also caused respiratory problems in animals. The consequences were devastating. Over 50% of Iceland's livestock population perished. Cattle, sheep, horses, all decimated. Imagine the silence that must have fallen over the Icelandic countryside. The usual sounds of farm animals replaced by an eerie quiet. But it wasn't just the animals that suffered. The human population of Iceland was also tragically impacted. The famine that followed the livestock deaths was brutal. Crops failed due to the ash and the altered weather. Food supplies dwindled rapidly. It's estimated that around a quarter of Iceland's human population, approximately 10,000 people, died in the years following the Laki eruption. Think about that loss in proportion to Iceland's small population at the time. It was a national tragedy of immense scale. But the suffering wasn't confined to Iceland. The atmospheric effects of Laki reached far beyond the shores of this Nordic island. Remember those sulfuric acid aerosols? They drifted high into the atmosphere and spread across the northern hemisphere. They created a phenomenon known as the Laki haze. Contemporary accounts from across Europe describe a strange, dry fog, a persistent haze that blotted out the sun. Benjamin Franklin, then in Paris, famously observed this haze. He noted that the sun appeared pale but fiery red at midday. This wasn't just a visual oddity. This haze was blocking sunlight. It was reducing the amount of solar radiation reaching the Earth's surface. And this had a dramatic effect on global temperatures. The year 1783 became known in some places as the year without a summer. Temperatures plummeted across Europe. Summer months were unusually cold and cloudy. The normal cycles of agriculture were disrupted. Crops failed across the continent. The reduced sunlight and cooler temperatures hindered plant growth. Harvests were disastrously poor. In France, the already strained economy was pushed to the brink. Some historians even link the Laki eruption and the subsequent famines to the French Revolution just a few years later. Imagine the social unrest and desperation caused by widespread food shortages. The Laki eruption wasn't the sole cause of the French Revolution, of course. but it certainly exacerbated existing tensions and contributed to the volatile atmosphere. The impacts spread beyond Europe. There's evidence to suggest that the Laki haze affected weather patterns in North America and even parts of Asia. Monsoon seasons may have been disrupted. Extreme weather events became more frequent. The Laki eruption serves as a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of our planet. A volcanic event in a remote corner of Iceland could have global repercussions. It highlights the powerful role that natural events can play in shaping human history. Before modern scientific understanding, people struggled to comprehend what was happening. They saw the sun dimmed, felt the unusual cold, and witnessed crops failing. Many attributed it to divine wrath or some other supernatural cause. It was an era before widespread scientific understanding of volcanic aerosols and their climate impact. The Laki eruption is a powerful case study for understanding volcanic winters. It's a real-world example of how volcanic eruptions can cool the planet. This is particularly relevant today as we grapple with the challenges of climate change. While we're concerned about human-caused warming, natural events like large volcanic eruptions can have a cooling effect, at least temporarily. Studying the Laki eruption helps us to better understand the complex interplay of natural and human influences on our climate system. It underscores the importance of monitoring volcanic activity and understanding its potential global impacts. The story of Laki is a chilling chapter in Earth's history. It's a tale of devastation and resilience, of a seemingly distant volcanic eruption that sent shockwaves across the world. It's a reminder of the awesome power of nature, and it's a lesson in the interconnectedness of our planet. So next time you see a volcano or hear about volcanic activity, remember Laki. Remember the year without a summer. Remember the Icelandic catastrophe that shook the world. This is just one of the fascinating stories we love to explore here on the Wonder Box. If you enjoyed this journey into the past and learned something new, please give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to the Wonder Box for more captivating explorations of history, science, and the wonders of our world. Hit that subscribe button and join our community of curious minds. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next Wonder Box adventure.